until the antibiotics kick in. He has a pretty good sized abscess on the front of his left leg.
You caught a fish?
Hello YouTube and eczema family. I just am gonna jump on here. It's currently almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but everybody's asleep, so it kind of gives me some time. I wanted to kind of go over what our goals are for the year and what we are planning and hoping to accomplish this year. It was last year, we got a lot of stuff planned, and Keikoa being hospitalized in April, and he was hospitalized for 4 weeks, and then my dad got really sick. I had to have surgery, and then Keikoa getting really sick again, making us have to go down to Stanford to get an endoscopy done, and then he had an infection again in December. So this year we're really hoping that we are able to continue with what we have planned and what we want our goals and stuff to be this year. So our big goal, our number one goal for this year, is to try to get Keikoa's skin as healthy as possible. From those of you guys who follow our Facebook page or our Instagram, you guys would see that we were in the hospital yesterday for a pretty severe infection. And our goal this year is, now that we got the diagnosis of the acetophilic esophagitis, that's how it's pronounced weird, in November, we're hoping that with those meds and working with his dermatologist and his allergist and his pediatrician, that we can get some type of control over his skin. As of lately, the flare-ups that he has been getting, especially on his legs, have been instantly turning into infections. This weekend, other than going to the store to get his meds, we stayed home. We're not doing anything until the antibiotics kick in. He has a pretty good sized abscess on the front of his left leg. But that's our number one goal for this year, is to get some control over his skin and allow, my 4-year-old to have his life back. It's been really hard on him. If you saw his interview video, the only thing he wanted was my skin, is what he told me. And I can't, it's hard as a mom to not be able to help them. Like when they ask for something, like you can't promise them anything because you don't really know the outcome, especially with this and how long we've been dealing with it, and how the only medication that they think will help him, he's too young for, and we can't get into a trial until he's 5. And he wants to be able to start school, which he can't because we can't fully vaccinate him yet, because his skin's been so flared up. His pediatrician is worried that because his body is fighting off this massive skin infection in his skin, that if we vaccinate him, his body's not going to fight that off correctly, and we're going to have other issues. So that's our number one goal, is we want to make him healthy. We want him to be able to have a normal childhood, to have friends, to be able to, go to school, get full nights of sleep. We just want him to have a full life, and it's been rough for the last 4.5 years, but we're praying that hopefully something happens. Our second big thing for this year is to travel. I anyways, before I got married and had kids, it was kind of all I did. Me and my sister, my best friend Ashley would come with us too, and my mom, we would just kind of get in the car and go. And when I first got with my husband, and when it was me and Logan, and even just me, Logan, and Keikoa, we used to travel a lot. We used to go on vacations and have a good time. And last year, if you've watched some of our videos, we planned 4 different vacations that all had to be canceled, just because of Keikoa's health conditions. And it's disappointing for the kids. We've stopped telling them if we have plans. We just kind of hope it works out. And it's, the kids need to go out and experience stuff, and I think it's important. I mean, we grew up, we didn't have a lot, but my parents always made sure that we did something as a family once or twice a year. And I think it's important. I think it's important for us as a family to be able to go out and do stuff, and for the kids to experience stuff while they're young. I mean, they're not young for very long. So we did get to go to San Jose kind of on a whim at the beginning of the month. But even that, I booked the hotel 2 nights before we were supposed to go down there because stuff changes so quickly with Keikoa, you never really 100% know. And at that point, it was kind of one of those, if he gets sick, well, then we'll just eat the hotel costs because I booked it and that's how it was. This year, we're really hoping the kids want to go to Legoland. I've never been to Legoland. I've been told they're at like the perfect age for Legoland, so that's something we want to do. Keikoa really wants to go see the Transformers. He's super obsessed with the Transformers, so he wants to go do that at Universal Studios. And I want to plan a family trip up to Yosemite. Another goal for this year, I forgot. We're gonna try to go in Orlando, Florida, the National Eczema Convention. It's a 4-day convention where kids like Keikoa get to pretty much go out and experience playing with kids that are just like them. Kids that don't look at them weird, kids that don't question them, kids that aren't scared of them. It was in Arizona last year and we missed it because by the time I found out about it, it was like 2 weeks and it just happened to be the week of fair and that would have never worked. But this year it's in Orlando, Florida, which any reason to go to Florida. I mean, Disneyland would be fun too, but it's a 4-day. They have classes for parents. They have different things that parents can do. They get to meet parents that have been going through it for years or whatever, and people like older adults and stuff that have eczema. And then the best part is it's set for kids just like him. So kids with severe allergies, kids with severe medical history, kids with severe eczema. You pretty much, as parents, we get to like drop them off pretty much for 4 days or 3 days, however long you decide to go, and they get to interact and play with kids like them. They have games set up. It's just this huge thing. Third big goal is a personal goal for me, and that's to work on my personal health. A lot of people, if you know me personally, know I suffer from pretty severe anxiety. Sometimes to the point where I won't leave my house, and I've been doing really well. I drove in the rain. My sister can tell you that, which that's one of my biggest things that triggers my anxiety is driving in the rain. And so I did that finally this year, which scared the ever-living poop out of me, but one step at a time. And there's a lot of other triggers and stuff. I'm not going to get into it fully, but that's kind of one of the things I've been working on this year. Started at the beginning of January is working on, my mental health and trying to get my head back on straight, trying to get, be the best mom I can for the kids. And I know I'm not the only person that has a sick kid or a special needs kid, I guess is what you call them. So you kind of tend to lose yourself a little bit. And I have two, Keikoa with all his health stuff, and then Logan has severe ADHD. So I think a big thing that I've learned this, especially last year, is that I kind of let myself go and kind of lost myself a little bit. I did, though, quit smoking last year, which was a huge goal of mine for the last 10 years. And so I finally did that. And that was kind of one of those things that I try, and I'd quit partially while I was pregnant, or I'd quit while I was pregnant, and then I'd be doing super good once the baby was born, but then I'd be really tired. It was a hot mess. So another thing I want to do is be spending more times with Logan and Vincent. I feel that with all of Keikoa's health stuff and everything that is required with him on a daily basis, that unintentionally we kind of push Logan and Vincent aside, and it's not something we do on purpose. I mean, we try our hardest to spend our own individual time with them, but I feel that Keikoa just takes so much work and so much time, and it kind of makes it hard to focus on the other kids. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think, once again, some people, those of you who have kids that have special needs, or those kids that do need extra time, you understand exactly what I'm saying. It just makes it hard when you're one person and one of your kids needs the attention of 5. Logan just fell asleep. He's had a rough couple nights, as I've had a very rough week. we only had 4 days of school, and Logan attended 3 of those, 2 of which he was late. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now how my first week back of winter break went. Me and Vincent slept almost all day, so because I was up at the hospital with Keikoa so late last night that by the time we got home, got him kind of mellowed out. But he's had a really rough night tonight anyways. He was doing pretty good, feeling good, and then he just starts crying, "Mommy, I can't get the itching to stop." Gave him Aquaphor, it didn't work. I ended up having to give him a full dose of Benadryl. 10 minutes, he was knocked out. The only issue with Benadryl is, and it works and it stops the itching and it does its job, but he sleeps so heavy that he wets the bed. And it's frustrating when it's happening 3 or 4 days a week, especially because with how severe his eczema is, we're not supposed to be bathing him every day. We bathe him every 3 days, every 2 or 3 days, because we do bleach baths and it's a huge thing. So when he pees the bed, I have to put him in the bathtub. Well, it's not good for his skin because now all the natural toxins and stuff that are on there that are supposed to be helping it heal and helping, when you go to scab and it scabs over, well, his legs do that. So we put him in the bath and wash him. Well, now all that stuff starts to come off. So now we're starting the healing process all over again, which is really frustrating. But yeah, we have a pretty big list of stuff to do this year, and I'm really hoping, with God on our side, that Keikoa's health withstands it and that we can just work towards healing this year for him and giving him somewhat of a normal life. He's supposed to start school TK in August, so that's kind of our goal. As of right now, he can't. The dermatologist said absolutely not with the school because there's so many germs and stuff that he's introduced to at school that they're afraid, because his immune system is so bad, that when he gets sick, he gets really sick. And she's afraid that while he's open, like if he keeps flaring up and being open like this, that he's going to be exposed to too much and he'll get way too sick. And we can't fully vaccinate him, which is required in the state of California. So, eventually, he will have his vaccinations at some point. I'm not against vaccinations. He just can't have a flu shot because of his egg allergy. But yeah, we're just praying for a clean bill of health this year. So, if you're new, the more you share, more awareness there is, and more kids like him get to be treated normally and equally. So, comment, share, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.